Let's keep it off the books. Yeah. Let's keep it, yeah. Let's keep it off the books. Yeah. If you're not tuned in, you're tuned out. Take a new route. Maybe change the lens that you view out. Put your fuse out. Let's watch liberals and women get retarded. A disagreement with no refutation should be fully disregarded. Mission started, and we got a problem, Houston. OnlyFans isn't empowerment, it's prostitution. He got solutions like, let's stop holding doors for hoes. Stop allowing them to vote to send more to war. They don't understand what a border's for. We should go door to door. Tell everyone to repeal the 19th Amendment. Otherwise it's demise, that's where we are headed. Yeah, he said it. Things get hot when you hold their feet to the fire. They call him a bigot and racist, but they never call him a liar. Surpassing you while we laugh at you. Cause you don't understand something as simple as per capita. Listen, this white nigga spitting. It's not hate, yes, pattern recognition. He's on a mission and he ain't missing. Are you tired of turning on the TV and seeing two dudes kissing? They call him homophobic, but he's not scared of gays. If love is love, be prepared for AIDS. Crash the barricade. Off the books, let's keep it off the books. Not secret is off the books. Joey Jugs. Yeah. Let's keep it off the books. Yeah. Let's keep it, yeah. Let's keep it off the books. Yeah. If you're not tuned in, you're tuned out. Take a new route. Maybe change the lens that you view out. Put your fuse out. Let's watch liberals and women get retarded. A disagreement with no refutation should be fully disregarded. Mission started, and we got a problem, Houston. OnlyFans isn't empowerment, it's prostitution. He got solutions like, let's stop holding doors for hoes. Stop allowing them to vote to send more to war. They don't understand what a border's for. We should go door to door. Tell everyone to repeal the 19th Amendment. Otherwise it's demise, that's where we are headed. Yeah, he said it. Things get hot when you hold their feet to the fire. They call him a bigot and racist, but they never call him a liar. Surpassing you while we laugh at you. Cause you don't understand something as simple as per capita. Listen, this white nigga spitting. It's not hate, yes, pattern recognition. He's on a mission and he ain't missing. Are you tired of turning on the TV and seeing two dudes kissing? They call him homophobic, but he's not scared of gays. If love is love, be prepared for AIDS. Crash the barricade. Off the books, let's keep it off the books. Not secret is off the books. Joey Jugs. Yeah. Let's keep it off the books. Yeah. Let's keep it, yeah. Let's keep it off the books. Yeah. If you're not tuned in, you're tuned out. Take a new route. Maybe change the lens that you view out. Put your fuse out. Let's watch liberals and women get retarded. A disagreement with no refutation should be fully disregarded. Mission started, and we got a problem, Houston. OnlyFans isn't empowerment, it's prostitution. He got solutions like, let's stop holding doors for hoes. Stop allowing them to vote to send more to war. They don't understand what a border's for. We should go door to door. Tell everyone to repeal the 19th Amendment. Otherwise it's demise, that's where we are headed. Yeah, he said it. Things get hot when you hold their feet to the fire. They call him a bigot and racist, but they never call him a liar. Surpassing you while we laugh at you. Cause you don't understand something as simple as per capita. Listen, this white nigga spitting. It's not hate, yes, pattern recognition. He's on a mission and he ain't missing. Are you tired of turning on the TV and seeing two dudes kissing? They call him homophobic, but he's not scared of gays. If love is love, be prepared for AIDS. Crash the barricade. Off the books, let's keep it off, let's keep it off the books. Not secret is off the books. Joey Jugs.
and we are live and direct. Things sound good. They look good. It's been a great day. I was going to go live last night, but you know what? It was your boy's birthday, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get some sleep. It's the best thing I could have did for my birthday is get some sleep. But if you guys are tuning in today, make sure you immediately hit that like because it jumps us up in the algorithm. If you could share it, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody that you think that maybe is like-minded, or how about this? Send this to your liberal aunt. Send this to your liberal aunt. Maybe send this to your black friend that that's conservative, or even one that's, pro. Send it to anybody that's going to be interested in this conversation. Today, what we're going to talk about is race relations in America, and the question is are race relations in America failing currently? Like in present day, when we have all the civil rights and all the civility and all of the legs up as possible, are race relations failing? So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this really interesting barbershop conversation that Steven Crowder had about 8 months ago. This is absolutely mind-blowing, super interesting. On Steven Crowder, he goes into a barbershop to try to have an honest conversation about relations from a white man's standpoint to in a black barbershop. So let's see how this goes. This is awesome. This is awesome. Start it off. Oh yeah, and shout out to tonight's sponsors, Happy Ending brand on Instagram. They make some of the coolest gear. You know what I mean?
You got your own areas.
Then don't ask them to pay for it.
And we're not because once again.
Oh, so you want them to stay away but foot the bill.
So you got to do that with everything
and
else
now
in
it's
the
the
tax
kid. Now
code.
it's the boodle and nothing is it. Stay away from us but pay for us. Do you realize that guy's going to hate you?
That other side of the coin. If we're going to do that, if we're going to give you that, then you got to go through everything and you got
to pay for us but leave us alone.
To give us the same thing. We're not going to pay for certain shit that we don't agree with.
Can I ask you something real talk? While we're having real talk, why do young black men fight in packs?
Woo!
Welcome back. As I'm sure you've noticed, race-related...
Imagine walking into a black barbershop and ask, hey, why do black young men fight in packs?
...relations in America aren't exactly where we would hope they'd be in 2025. And considering the events over the past year or few...
And this was 8 months ago. This is becoming even worse, and hopefully this is being more exposed than ever before because of the Carmelo Anthony verdict. So that's one of the reasons why I find this interesting, because this was 8 months ago. Things haven't got better.
One can understand why.
22-year-old Logan Federico lived in North Carolina and was visiting friends in Columbia back in May. Authorities say her alleged killer, Alexander Dickey, entered the home that she was staying in and shot her.
Investigators also say Dickey was on a crime spree before killing Logan.
A Collin County grand jury indicted 18-year-old Carmelo Anthony with first-degree murder. He's accused of stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet earlier this year.
Killing a Ukrainian refugee on Charlotte's Light Rail last month, being put in.
And they're just highlighting some of the bigger cases. But if you look at this statistically, it's happening all across the country. Yeah, at alarming rates. Black people, like, literally killing a lot of white people. And the narrative is that white people are dangerous. But when you look at it statistically, it's completely flipped.
Into handcuffs. This new chilling video is one of nearly a dozen new clips now in the hands of WBTV.
Sad.
That's what prompted me to go back to the barbershop and start the conversation that you saw in part 1 of this video last week.
Have you guys heard of the term black fatigue?
And if you thought that was heated, all I have to say about part 2 today
is part 2.
Hold on to your butts.
What I said earlier, and you listen to is when you have a young white person going, okay, why is this happening? And people go, Black Lives Matter. And they go, well, hold on a second. I have an opinion on Black Lives Matter. They go, well, sit down, shut up. Okay, now silence is violence. And that kid goes, well, what do I do? By the way, you're on the hook for reparations, even though his father.
Yeah, silence is violence. But when you stand up and you have an opinion, they're like, yo, you can't talk about this. You're white. And I get that in a lot of the debate circles. I'll have an opinion on something, and they'll be like, why are you even talking about this? You're a white person. And it's like, okay, I won't talk about it. Well, then silence is violence. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess.
His grandfather, his great-great-grandfather, didn't own a slave, and he's still 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person the other way around. What I'm saying is society is going to create...
Again, those are the stats. On the opposite side, a white person is 12 times more likely to get their life ended by a black person than the other way around.
A generation of racists. What do you say to that young white kid?
And
What do you say to him?
Stop watching.
And they're a small amount of the population because remember, I think 13% of America is African American. 7% of that is black men, which are the ones committing, black men are, but there's only a small amount of them that are the age of committing those kind of crimes. So it's like 5% of America that's committing this disproportionate amount of violence.
Stay off of TikTok.
Stop reading stats.
Stop paying attention to what these talking heads are saying because they're leading you down the wrong path. They're leading you down a path of paranoia and conspiracy theories.
What if their interactions with black people in general are quite negative?
So same thing. Give the same thing in reverse. What about black people who've had continuous, not only historical, but personal experiences?
Yep.
Where they've been at the wrong end of white people.
Here's the thing. I'll tell you.
And then we get told that those stories are invalid.
No, you're not.
Yes, we do.
You're not.
I've been personally told my story
I
was invalid.
I wouldn't say that they're invalid. I would just say they're statistically unlikely. I would say that statistically they're unlikely, and the safest place for a black man to be in is in a white neighborhood.
And by the way, the only thing that keeps my heart protected from racism, by the way, the only thing that protects me from not wanting to go out and kill the person who shot Charlie Kirk, because by the way, there are two people on earth who know what it's like to sit in that chair. Me and him. And I just did it at SMU and had to have entire bulletproof glass and an army to go in and have conversations, right? So I'm a little bit pissed off about it. Also, people have tried to take my life many times. So I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for anyone, white or black, saying, oh, must be. Yeah. You ever have someone show up at your house? You ever have someone show up at your house when your kids are sleeping with weapons being swatted? Like, we've been living through this for a long fucking time and told you don't know what it's like. I will say this. My faith is what has protected me. My faith is what has protected my heart from becoming racist. But I've had a lot of negative interactions. That's why I'm sitting here. We'll have to edit this because just the word. By the way, if you want a relaxing vacation, stay home.
Do me a favor, push pause or push mute and play it on the TV.
I know, but my kids
like
love it.
mute it out so I got another play.
And I'll tell you this: you have like this magic wand thing. You run around the hotel and it opens up chests. Wow. And I'm sitting there, I'm sunken eye, and there was a black guy next to me. Obviously, a dad with like his daughter and his son. And I kind of looked at him. We looked at each other in the face, like, yeah, we know this is exhausting. And I know we have a lot in common because his wife or woman is probably in the room because he's there with his kids by himself. I was too. But then we were there at the water slides. My kids are 3. And this happened not once, but about 4 or 5 times. And it happened 3 times with one black kid who was about 5 or 6. Shoved my son out of the way to get on the water slide. Okay? My son did nothing. Shoved him out of the way a second time, came back. My son's 2, 3 years, which is a big deal at that point. And then at one point I look over, Mom, no Dad. And I just go like, hey, he's being aggressive. Okay, comes back the 3rd time. I go, hey, hold on, you have to wait in line. You know what my son said? My son said, well, Daddy, you know what, maybe he's in a real hurry. We should let him go. That was a different interaction. That kid kept doing it to every other and it wasn't the only one. And you know why? Because I've taught my kid, hey, you're going to have people who look different from you, and it doesn't matter, you treat them well. That kid wasn't. And I'm telling you, along with the empirical, anecdotally, if you have a young white person who has these interactions on a regular basis, and I'd be lying to you if I said they were uncommon, while being told they need to shut up because of system.
And I don't know if I like the way he's going with the whole, and this is my personal experience thing too. Because, I mean, yes, it is, your personal experience is valid to a degree, but I think that it's more poignant to kind of push what is and what can be validated,
Systemic discrimination, you're going to create a generation of racists.
I get it.
But that child was poorly.
And that's true too. Like, yeah, that's true too.
Parented too.
I agree. We run into it all the time.
Hey, Steve, that child was poorly parented. There's no way in the world his mother shouldn't have intervened and whipped his the first time.
No, the dad did nothing, Steve?
The dad wasn't there.
There was no dad. That's what I said.
Mom, no dad.
No, I say because it's not a race thing. The dad, him and I looked and we were like, dude, I get it, right? We're both tired. But here, this kid, I don't know, maybe the dad wasn't there. His mom didn't, and he shoved my son out of the way 3 times.
But poor parenting, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
We run into that all the time.
That's what I was about to say. It's poor parenting everywhere. And that creates individuals that grow up to be grown-up individuals.
Let me give you one.
Some of those individuals end up getting positions of power.
Well, see, can I drop one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Actually, because I like the thing about choices. And you were talking about the federal department.
By the way, the whitest
I'm sorry. But I'm sorry, like there's a couple things. You said you ended up in and so you don't have to worry about things that people in South.
No, I said I've been afforded some things.
Afforded?
Yeah.
Why? How are you afforded that? You just happen to land
No,
here?
I sacrificed some things to live in.
Correct.
Right.
You made good choices.
I made choices. I made choices.
And we talk about educational standards.
But I also had opportunities available to me too that some people didn't have.
Of course, everyone has a different lot for sure.
Right.
Sure. But you were talking about educational standards. Why is it that the Asian kid does 3 times to 4 times as much homework than the black kid, and the white kid does 2 to 3? Why?
Because it's culturally, it's conditioned.
Exactly.
So why is it better parenting from Asians than white parents? Why?
You said what?
Why is there better parenting? What he's trying to say is, you said bad parenting.
Well, I said.
So why is there better parenting from Asians
teaching,
and white parents?
Yeah, culturally, the educational mindset, culturally, when among Asians, they're taught from young that's primary.
Sure.
Over anything else, entertainment,
also obeying the law,
how you dress, none of that matters.
And it's
up here matters.
Right, and they're also about 3 to 4 times more likely to have a father in the household than a black. Why is this disproportionately affecting this one community? Because I have a question, because I actually have, like, my uncle, my aunt's married to a black dude, one of the most accomplishment of all time. Helicopter pilot, National Park Ranger, served his country, has a Ferrari in the driveway, right? He wears, crew socks, so we can forgive him for some things. But my whole life I've had this great black role model in my life. But then I try to ask questions, and I have a hard time asking him because I don't want to upset that relationship.
You're being responsible with your work.
So I want to ask now,
it doesn't help that you look like you're in the Third Reich.
I'm not even going to take that out. But then if you talk about there's no power. Well, we were talking about Charlotte, and you said the black activist judge. Well, in Charlotte, it's not just the black activist judge. It's the DA that's black that instituted those policies. It's a black mayor. So could we at least agree, before the Civil Rights Movement and now, do blacks have more or less institutional power?
There's been some bad and some good that came
We have
along
less
with the Civil
institutional
Rights
power,
Movement.
yes.
He just said we have less institutional power than before civil rights. He just said that black people today have less institutional power than before civil rights. We had a black president. What is this guy drinking? What syrup is he sipping?
But you know what we don't have? As a community, we don't have the unity.
Well, here's the problem we have.
So the last thing I want to ask.
I want to ask you a question before you say the last thing you want to ask.
It kind of all throws together, and I'll just let you go.
Okay, go ahead.
Why was the black community one of the fastest growing economic demographics in the country? Why were there tons of fathers in the household?
Oh, he's really, this guy's about to spit some facts. I'm gonna fast forward this for a second, but what he's saying is, after civil rights, after Jim Crow, immediately after Jim Crow, the black community had the highest marriage rates, least divorce rates, lowest crime rates, most economic mobility. And that's before all of the rights that they're afforded today, but yet something changed. And now 80% of black homes, there's no dad in the home. Propensity for the most violence of a small segment of our population, most abortions, most of just all of terrible, on paper, terrible data. What happened?
Black people were becoming great role models and integrating into society naturally. And now it's substantially worse than it was before Martin Luther King.
You know why it's worse?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that and I'm gonna say this openly because I can't get into the specifics, but I work for an entity that I was flabbergasted to learn this. All right, and what we do is we provide Medicaid, right? And this is a former campaign I worked on, and I was awestruck when I would have white females that would call, and they would call on behalf of their entire family, which included the husband, right? So many people say, well, the welfare queen is having more children because she gets more food stamps. Well, here's how it really works, and I can tell you this from firsthand knowledge, right? Let's say I've got a household of a wife and a husband, and I've got 4 kids. that household can earn up to $6,900, right? And here's what happens. Even if the husband is in the household, many times they're self-employed. So, of course, you can skew the numbers any way you want. And
Is this an answer to the actual question on why things are the way they are now compared to then? Is this guy obfuscating? And for some reason, he doesn't have hair, but he's in a barbershop. That's weird. That's already weird as shit to me. Why are you even in a barbershop, my guy? There's nothing to line up.
you and your family will continue to get full health care. A black mother is always told if there's a man in the house, number one, then it's a no-go, okay? Look at the Section 8 Housing Authority. Now, here's what happened, and you want to know what happened, what caused
I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah, what caused the problem in Black America, what caused the problem in Black America is the fact that when the father became absent in the home, right? When he became absent in the home, it left.
That guy has a shirt on that says Democrips and Bloodlikins.
The mothers to bear the brunt. So to answer your question, do we have more influence in some areas? Perhaps, but ask yourself this: do we have more influence economically? Because if you go back and you look, prior to the civil rights movement, let me tell you something right now. You had more black carpenters and tradesmen all over the place.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, that's right. But the problem is, again, if you agree with that, then you'll agree with the fact that if it had not been for the change in the systemic dynamics, that black men would still be in the home or what have you.
Right.
And the black family would still be doing it.
Federal government policy has not been instituted to help black people ever, but really to make them dependents of the state when they were doing just damn fine without the federal government that you want in more people's lives.
The only reason why
it's almost like reparations.
My question to that is, why is that a problem for white America? And we were already...
Because it's one country.
Because it's what?
We are one country, and the problems of one community...
We're not one country. We're an entity.
There you go. That's the problem right there. This guy just was like, we're one country. So your problems are our problems. This guy, since he's been raised to be a homegrown domestic terrorist, we're two separate countries. You know what I mean? If you poll the black community, there's a lot of anti-patriotism, anti-American sentiments coming from that community. So he just answered it pretty cleanly.
We're a corporation. The United States is a corporation. It's not a country.
It certainly is. And with that attitude, we can never be a country. If that's the attitude that people have.
Because it's not a country. It was never built. It's written in the Constitution. It's a corporation.
That is not.
What? Did you hear what this guy? He's about to say that it's written in the Constitution that we're a corporation.
You
can't read.
That is not written in the Constitution. That's just not true.
It's not a country. So what I'm saying is, when we were black people...
I wonder if he is cognitive and self-aware enough to understand that this video is going to get 1 million+ views. And he just said openly that in the Constitution, it says that we're not a country, but a corporation. Very confidently and very boldly. Again, the lack of discernment is overwhelming. The lack of self-awareness.
In our own communities, thriving, like you said, doing our own thing. Yeah. Why was that a problem for white America? We were doing our own thing. Why did y'all come and burn down Wall Street, Black Wall Street?
That's why. That's the way. The reason why the black community is doing so bad today is because whites burnt down Black Wall Street. That's why.
We had our thing going. Why is it an issue when we have our own thing going and we're minding our business? White America comes in and figure out a reason to, that's wrong. Y'all are doing something wrong. That's not by the code. That's not by the rules.
No one here is trying to justify clear racist policies of the past or racism of the past. Of course that existed. No one was arguing that.
Here's the thing.
We're not arguing. I'm saying why
it sounds like you're saying that you would want racial segregation. Because you're
saying... I don't want racial segregation. We asked for equality. We didn't get that.
But you're saying your own community doing your own thing.
Do our own thing.
Are you saying that we should be separate communities? That's what I'm asking. Are you saying we should be separate white and black communities? That's what it sounds like a little bit.
Separation may be the answer.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty.
Hey, he's being honest. Hey, but guess what? If a white person just said what he just said, how do you think they would feel? If a white guy was like, yeah, you know what I believe? That we should be separate. We should separate and have only white spaces. Do you think that that white man would be afforded the support that this black guy just came up with?
Honesty. I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, separation could be that.
But if a white person says that, is it racist?
No, it's not.
Okay. But I think
that's not true. If a white guy said that, he'd be lambasted and considered a racist.
I don't think we should.
But if you're saying it in a narrative that we are a threat to you guys, so that's why.
But statistically, that wouldn't be a narrative. That's on data. If a white person was like, you know what, I don't want to move to a black neighborhood because it's going to be more violent and crime ridden, and I'd rather not live. He's saying you can't say that though. You're not allowed to say that. You can't believe your own lying eyes.
But you just said that white people are a threat to black people. That's what you just said. So why can't white people say it? And I don't think separation is the answer.
That is true. He did say that white people are a threat to black people, and that's fine. But also, do not, if you're a white person, do not say the same thing. You're not allowed to.
I didn't say that. I said you guys find a problem with everything that we do.
If separation is the answer,
yeah, well, reparations, come on with it.
So,
Reparations.
Who gets the reparations?
Yeah, who gets the if you believe in reparations, if anybody watches this later and believes in reparations, who gets it? Who gets reparations? You mean, does it based on the amount of melanin? Does it mean that every black person just gets free money? Like, the idea that only blacks should get reparations is full-blown racism, and I believe that it's complete anti-white rhetoric. That's my opinion.
The whole black American descendants of slavery, the people that have been wrong for so many years.
America.
The government that's taking from us.
Hey, Ukraine. I ain't never personally asked
you don't have to tell me twice.
yeah, I agree with you.
Like, why are we paying that?
Right, so
I agree with you. How about we pay none of it and let people make their own decision?
Money would just go back to reparations. That's the system.
To answer the question of who should pay,
Yeah.
the federal government should be on the hook for some of that. But every single company that benefited from chattel slavery, all the insurance companies, all the
You think the companies in current day 2026 benefited from chattel slavery? What?
freight companies, all of those companies that existed then, that still exist now in some name, shape, or form, they should have to pay into that because they all profited for it. Just think about this.
This victim mindset that you owe me and you got your hand out, but how are you going to call yourself kings? How are you going to be like, I'm a king, I'm a queen, but then beg for money? It doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me.
Yep. You insured a slave. When you bought a slave, you got insurance on that slave. That insurance company made money off of that.
And he's saying you, because these guys are white people. He's like, when you bought a slave, it's like, hey, bro, the first legal slave owner was a black guy. What are you talking about, me? You, because black people own slaves too.
And they built up into what?
And also, who sold the slaves? How did the slaves end up on the shores of America? How did that happen?
What percentage of the workforce in the United States do you think were actually slaves here in this country? Because that might.
I don't know what the percentage was, but I know all the hard work. I know who did all the hard work.
No.
Who did all the hard? All the hard work in America was done only by black slaves.
You know what? You just said the railroads. You just said the railroads. Why aren't the Chinese immigrants asking for reparations?
Because they've already.
That's real. That is real. Steven Crowder's not stupid. Yeah, there were Chinese immigrants that helped build the railroads that were forced to build railroads. Why aren't all the Chinese getting together and being like, pay us reparations? It's almost like they don't have a victim class that demands like free money and they go out there and get it, and it's almost reflected in their crime rates, their marriage rates, in their economic rates, all of that. Maybe having that victim mentality might have bad results.
They've already been gifted what they were going to give.
You did what?
We did it full.
You did it full?
For them.
No, the Chinese built the railroads. The Chinese were slaves. They built the railroads.
We did that for them.
No. The Chinese were the majority of the slaves building railroads.
Now, on the railroad
reparations, they don't want it.
Well, I tell you what. Next time we'll have you a Chinese dude in here so you can ask him that. I don't give I'm talking about black people.
Can you guys deal with the straight hair like that?
People.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's another misconception that we get all the time, too.
We can cut any kind of hair. But we're talking about what black people... Hold on. We're talking about where the money's supposed to come from. It's companies that are trillion-dollar, billion-dollar companies that started in the 1600s, 1700s, that are still around, and they benefited and profited immensely from that.
What if it's a
They
company
should
that
have
never
to
had
pay
slaves?
that.
Should they pay reparations?
No, not that the company had slaves, but we had companies that insured slaves. You had companies that transported slaves.
But what if
They want reparations to be paid by taxpayers like me that have nothing to do with slavery. Where does the money coming from for this theoretical reparations? It would come from the taxpayer. And guess what? People in 2026 had nothing to do with slavery. Why would we have to pay for that? And not only that, the people that would theoretically get paid the reparations, they were never enslaved. It's literally just victim. It's just this victim-like mindset, and it's crazy.
That did none of it. Should they pay?
No, if they didn't have anything to do with chattel slavery, no, they
Right.
shouldn't.
Neither
but
did
the
I.
companies that should.
But let me say this.
But your
I mean,
grandfather,
but do you understand the point?
But if your grandfather was here in the United States, I don't know. You said you from Canada. I don't know. We not worried about it. We worried about the people.
What if your
that were here.
grandfather was a slave owner and mine wasn't?
My grandfather was.
What if he was? But my point is, what if he was?
Yeah. What if your black grandfather was a slave owner? Should he pay reparations?
Because
What about if you're half black? What about if you're half black and one of your grandfathers was a slave owner and then your grandmother was a slave? Would you pay yourself money? Yeah, that's interesting, right? Like, would you owe yourself money?
Grandfather was a sharecropper in Plaquemine, Louisiana, in a little
Right.
small town called Bayagula. So he was 2 generations removed from slavery. So I know I have a root in slavery.
Okay.
Somebody
This
owned
guy literally has a root in slavery. This guy sitting in a barber chair with a diamond chain on his necklace, right, in brand name clothes, playing on his iPhone, he has a root in slavery. For real. Like, literally, the other day, he had dreams of picking like, for real. He woke up in a cold sweat and was like, I felt the lashes on his back and was like, my calloused hands for all the cotton I picked. What is this?
great-great-grandfather.
What if I have no root in slavery?
Well, you don't owe nothing. You don't owe anything. Your grandfather, if your grandfather from Canada, he wasn't down here owning slaves.
Okay,
he
I'm
don't
just trying
owe
to.
nothing.
So
If
then
your
people who didn't
grandfather was
owe,
down here telling
we
niggas
don't
what
pay
to do,
reparations.
he owe money.
But Steve,
You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I'm telling you, though. Hold on a second. Here's what I'm telling you. If you're to go through the numbers, so do we agree? If I have no connection to slavery whatsoever, that I don't owe.
You still
Me.
You don't.
We
You
agree.
don't.
Okay.
You
So
don't.
do you realize that you could take all the white people in this country, and if you're going to add up everyone where you could actually trace the lineage to slave owners or had any involvement, you would end up with maybe 2 or 3%?
3% of the people right now. Like what reality do they live in? What do they think? Do they think that every white person in America was a slave owner? What is the percentage of people of Americans that were slave owners in those times? Wasn't it like less than like 3? It was like 3 to 4% or something. Something like very, very minute. There wasn't many slaves actually in America. There wasn't many black slaves in America. Most black slaves were in South America and on the islands and in other countries. That's where the most of the African slaves were. Matter of fact, there also were a lot of white slaves in America. So it's like anything but the truth, anything but statistics. It's all about my feels. Like I said, this guy wakes up in cold sweats. He still feels the lashes on his back.
2 or 3% of white people in this country.
There go them numbers.
You
There
can
go
guess
them
their
numbers.
entire
You
salary.
know what?
It
There
wouldn't
go
give you
them
reparations.
numbers.
See, he's like, there go them numbers. There go them stats. Like it's kryptonite. Like for real, it's kryptonite. There goes numbers. Like what? We're not supposed to believe like numbers are bad now. Like numbers are the enemy.
Steven, there go them
Most of us
Can
have
I
nothing.
fairly ask this Somebody did it.
Can I fairly-
Somebody did.
Yeah,
And
Africans
owed.
sold them into slavery.
Somebody owed.
It's still going on right now.
Somebody owed.
There are more slaves on earth right now than ever. Did you know that?
Steve, let me ask you a question.
And that's
Let me ask you a
true.
question. We're
Right
not
now,
gonna go- we're not-
right now, there are more slaves on Earth than ever were in America in the past. And guess where those slaves are? They're in melanated countries. Interesting, right? And guess what? The only reason that slavery doesn't exist today is because of white people, mainly white Christians. If it wasn't for white Christians, slavery would still exist because it still does in places that don't have white Christians. Interesting.
We're not going to really get to the heart of it. Let me ask you this. Are you aware of what's going on with McDonald's right now?
What?
McDonald's, the company?
Yeah, McDonald's, the company.
I'm aware they can't get my fillet of fish right anytime I go.
Let me tell you what's really happening. I got a friend of mine who currently has 5 McDonald's locations, right? So there are many times he says, Cedric, sometimes I've got to get up at nighttime to go and check, even if the chiller goes out, right? So
Like, for real, this guy's an obfuscation machine. We were having a real I was listening to a real conversation. He was like, hey, but what about McDonald's? He should be skipped. I should fast forward when anytime this guy talks.
I said, man, why is that so? What's really happening? He said, Cedric, what happens is there are most black franchisees, right, that own these McDonald's. He said, we have to get them in the most low-performing areas, right? Never mind the fact that we make the same investment up front to purchase one of those McDonald's, right? So when you talk about that, let's look at the systemic.
If that was true, McDonald's would be sued into oblivion. I want you guys to do your research on what this guy just said, if it's interesting, but I'm tracking logic. That's full-blown illegal, and I guarantee with how much money people want to get for free, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen, and there would be tons of lawsuits that McDonald's would be under right now if that was true. This guy is talking about one of his friends' anecdotal experience, and this guy believes it like it's real.
And institutional biases that are involved just in that. You tell me I got to pay you $1 million to get a McDonald's, right? Same thing as my white counterpart. But yet, I'm relegated to take a McDonald's in an area that's probably highly impoverished. I've got to keep coming up with all kind of gimmicks to keep the foot traffic coming through the stores. Where nobody talks about that.
Well, what about the flip side of it?
What happens on the flip side?
What about the flip side of it? What about the fact that you have the government that has grants that they invest in black-owned businesses that don't happen for white people?
Let me ask you this, Steve. It's funny you.
Does that even it out?
But no. But here's
because that exists.
Here's something you keep saying. You say that these grants exist for black people, but let me ask you.
Okay, but my point is actually both sides of that coin, right?
Yeah,
that exists for a reason.
What's
the reason?
I don't think
the reason is based on what he's saying. That's why it's inappropriate.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you use his example of the McDonald's, what would be the reason for relegating the black owners to the low income neighborhoods?
I don't know. I'm not able to verify that all that's factual. I know. Were you told you could only open here in nice?
Huh?
Were you told you could only open here in a nice?
Well, this is Steve's shop, but no.
Okay. But my point is,
but see, you have to
not just
understand
McDonald's.
something. Before you answer that question, you have to understand something. There's a difference in McDonald's and what have you. Because the way that structure, the way that hierarchical structure runs, they will designate you certain areas of what have you that you will be awarded a location in. You just don't have the right to say, okay, I'm paying $1 million.
That's the same for everyone.
A major $1 billion class action lawsuit was filed by over 50 former black franchisee owners, and similar suits were filed. And these lawsuits have faced complex legal hurdles, and they were dismissed from court. While corporate stance, the company has maintained that franchisees ultimately choose their locations, grading criteria is applied equally, and the discrepancies are the result of individual business challenges rather than systematic bias. And this is something he's bringing up that's such a low scale thing. We're talking about something as large as every black person wanting reparations, and this guy's talking about black McDonald's franchisee owners. Obfuscation machine. Even if what he's saying is true, what is he talking about?
Same for everyone. I know a guy, well, he just died not too long ago. He had a bunch of which I don't know how they're still around. It's disgusting. But
neither do I.
That's awful. I have never had a good meal at but he had to be in certain too, because they had to displace his franchise investment, right? That's part of it, where he was like, this one place is killing me, but as long as I get this spot, when I average out the 4 spots, okay, I can turn a profit. So this isn't unique to the black community. What is unique is investments from the federal government and state government into black-owned businesses to rectify it that white people don't get. So it's not enough. So what would be enough?
Because of historical injustices that have been done to impede.
I'm gonna read off some messages real quick. Read off some messages. Let's see. Okay, I got I don't know. I don't know who's in here right now. Yo, say what's up if you're in here. I might have messages from the last thing I did. So let's see. I don't know if Dance Maddox is in here. Salute to you, my guy. Joe Young said. Joe said they want black only spaces, but also access to all white areas if they were ever. That's because they want equality by having superiority, but they can't do it alone. I know a black guy whose grandpa was a slave owner as a black man. Numbers are racist. Duh. Somebody's rapping in here. He's rapping. Somebody's rapping. What's good, my guy? What's going on? A caffeinated combat medic. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for the support, my guy.
Black businesses. So
it's not enough now, but what would be enough?
Ask yourself, why would they do that? Why would they pay that?
What's the number?
Oh, because historically,
that's my point. What's the number, right?
What is the number? That's what I'm saying. What is the number? You're talking about something that's so minute that that's not even relevant to the conversation. Completely irrelevant to this large scale problem that we're having. And now we're steering off course. That guy that was like, but what about McDonald's? He should have been like, oh, we should treat him like I do my friend Joe. Like, on to the next conversation. He's talking about Teslas again.
Department of Education, Great Society, Model Cities program, black businesses, Pell Grants, affirmative action, DEI. It's not enough. What's the number that's enough?
Once again, like we said about the civil rights movement, about the education and all that, you can do certain things in the name of doing the right thing, but then you do it wrong. So
what's the number?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't personally have an answer to that question.
One moment, just one second. Would you agree that if a young person who has no connection to slavery whatsoever, you probably need a number for them?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're probably going to be pissed.
They didn't need a number for Ukraine. Sure, they paid them same taxes. They didn't need a number for how much we were going to pay.
You're talking about reparations to a young person, right? In the name.
He's talking about, hey, since we paid money to Ukraine, we should pay it to black people. It's like, what?
Name of sins of forefathers. My point is, what's the number? Because the number now is trillions of dollars. I get it. The government screws everything up, and I will agree on that. What's the number? You're sitting down right now with a 22-year-old white kid.
Give my daughter $15 million and we'll call it.
$15 million.
You just said, give me $15 million and we'll call it even.
$15 million apiece. We'll call it square. That's for me and for them.
$15 million. Okay.
$15 million. Look, since a lot of people don't care about their taxes, add an extra 2% to what you pay in taxes. How about that? 2%. That's a number.
2% for how long?
I mean, I agree if this conversation was about the money sending to Ukraine, but I'd say let's not do that either. Even bring up the fact that, yeah, we sent money to Ukraine. Yeah, we disagree with that too. I disagree with that more than reparations, but I disagree with both. How about that? Don't give Ukraine money and definitely don't give people that don't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
See. How long it was?
So 2% only for white people who have a connection to slavery at their forefathers, right?
Yo, if you did the numbers, people would get $3. They get $14. They get a $14 check for reparations. That's what would happen.
How long were we in slavery?
You'd end up with no money.
200.
No money, zero.
You'd end up with zero money. You'd each end up with about $14.99.
Yeah, $14.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the government paying taxes. I'm not talking about just people who are responsible. Once again, I'm not responsible for anything happening in Ukraine, but I'm paying for it.
I agree.
So why should that rationale not transfer to this?
Because it's rationale.
It's terrible rationale.
It's not when the United States is the people who perpetrate.
Well, that's why I need to ask the number, because if you're talking about more than $15 per black person, you're talking about trillions of dollars.
Right, but if we're going to be a part of the same country, like Lane said, we're going to all be a part and members of the same country. Well, we have to take on what comes with that. What comes with that is historically, every time like Chris said earlier, every time black people have achieved en masse, it's been torn down.
Has it really been torn down? So when Barack Obama became president, got torn down? Barack Obama monuments get tore down and stuff. Like that's not true. What's this guy talking about?
No.
And then you get to a point
where you're talking about the riots, yeah.
Then you get to a point where you're like, I can mention there's several black communities that's under lakes. There's one that's under Central Park in New York. Like there's plenty. But
that
my
are
point
under
is,
lakes?
Then you get to a point where you say, okay, we're gonna do this in the interest of justice. But then redlining and all that stuff happens, and then the prison industrial complex. All of that stuff that happens that adds to the wrong.
Anything but the truth. Redlining is not affecting blacks in 2026. It's just not. Things have happened in the past. Nobody's sitting here being pro-slavery and pro-redlining, but using that as an excuse to not move forward and to use it to be a victim in 2026 is just soft as cotton. My bad,
Wrong of it. It gets mixed in.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we tried, and you should just be happy with it.
Here's the problem. What you just said, it was the rhetoric and the reasoning behind catch and release, doing away with the three-strike policy. You point to New York. You got a black mayor and crime got worse.
That's true.
Because he's a criminal.
And because you got 30 million people living in
white guy before him. He was grabbing. He was grabbing.
But wait, but under Rudy Giuliani, it wasn't like that with stop and frisk. Interesting, right? But he was called racist for stop and frisk. You remember this policy in New York? Stop and frisk. It was considered racist, but it actually made New York better. Huh?
Guinea intern.
And probably the white guy that put him in his spot.
Okay, so it's worse. In other words, it's worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the prison industrial complex. That's why that guy was out 14 times.
But I'm saying that's
why George Floyd was out 9 times.
That's also why you have less fathers. That's why you have less fathers in the home.
For real, man. For real. You know what? Redlining is why there's teen takeovers. Crime is young black men are killing each other at an enormous rate because of redlining and McDonald's franchises.
So redlining and the prison industrial complex is the two main caveats to less fathers in the home.
We've done the opposite of the prison industrial.
Not what?
Complex. Violent offenders are being released into society and committing crime in record numbers right now.
And non-violent offenders are being held on petty charges.
No, they're not.
I've personally done the numbers on it.
How did that guy get out 14 times? George Floyd 9 times.
Do you say I personally did the numbers? I thought numbers were racist. Tell us the numbers. Those damn numbers
11 times arrested is the average murderer.
And you got people in there for weed charges that's in there for...
It's not a thing. It's less than 0.5%.
Personally, no.
And it doesn't matter if people are in jail for weed charges, it's because weed that weed's illegal in that state. If weed's illegal in that state and you get caught with it, you go to jail. You're breaking the law.
And that's the thing. When you tell somebody that personal knowledge don't matter because the stats matter more, I personally...
See, that's what this all goes back to. I'm going to try to rewind this. He said, when stats matter more than my personal experience, that's a problem. It's like, no, that's the problem. That you don't care about stats and data. You only care about your feels, your little feels.
They're not.
I've personally done the numbers on it.
How did that guy get out after 14 times? George Floyd 9 times. Do you realize 11 times arrested is the average murderer?
And you got people in there for weed.
You hear this? 11 times. A murderer goes to jail 11 times before they commit an actual murder generally.
Charges that's in there for...
It's not a thing. It's less than 0.5%
personally,
of federal penitentiaries.
And that's the thing. When you tell somebody that personal knowledge don't matter...
See, when you tell somebody their personal, wrong word, personal knowledge, no. Your personal experience is different than knowledge. Knowledge is truth. This guy is not talking about anything truthful, nothing honest.
Because the stats matter more?
The stats do matter more than your personal experience and your feelings. Otherwise, you're an imbecile.
I personally know this. I know somebody right now that's in jail for small but I know somebody else that did some big and they out.
Small keep defining. So he had a joint on him?
Selling weed.
He's in prison right now because he had a joint.
But a small...
There you go. He didn't get in trouble for smoking a joint. He got in trouble for selling bricks of weed in a state that was illegal. That's you committing a crime. I don't agree with it, but it's still on paper a crime. And if you don't want to go to prison, don't sell bricks of weed. How about that?
One time. One time he got caught selling. One time a small joint he was selling.
No,
let's talk about small things. Let's talk about it.
What is it really? That's what I'm saying. If you want to frame it in the one-time small joint, that's a straw man argument. I'm saying.
What is he in for?
I don't know how much he had, but it was.
And one time?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was one time.
He got caught one time selling.
No, I don't know. It wasn't his first time. No.
Okay, so he got caught multiple times. Yeah. And he was selling weed.
But every time.
Oh, now he's selling weed multiple times, and that's why he's in jail. See, again, moving the goalpost, ridiculousness.
The same thing.
Do you know how many people die from lace weed?
I don't.
You know about the fentanyl problem in this country?
Yeah, I do know about fentanyl.
You know that most people aren't trying to get fentanyl, right?
But
weed itself never killed anybody.
I'm about to say fentanyl ain't our thing.
No, what I'm saying is, do you realize why trafficking drugs is a problem? You said a little thing. Can I tell you that if I had a white friend...
Man, my friend was in jail for something little. What was little? You know, selling mad bricks of weed in Texas. It's like, wait a minute. Weed's illegal in Texas. And where'd he get the weed from? Oh, the cartel. It's like, wait, what? He didn't do anything small, bro.
Who was caught trafficking drugs. And I don't think weed should be outlawed, by the way. It's bullshit, just to be clear. But if I had a white friend who was arrested the umpteenth time for selling a brick of weed, I would go, yeah, that makes sense.
It makes
we would
sense.
expect
Completely.
it.
Not for weed.
Of course.
Not for me.
Selling weed, selling a giant brick of weed multiple times, yes.
Yes. And
those are choices.
And at the same time, I know people personally that like you got dudes out here like selling all kinds of other shit. I ain't gonna even put names on it, but you got dudes out here selling all kinds of other shit and they free.
Okay.
They been arrested a couple times.
Okay, what's that mean? They're just better at not getting caught?
Times too, but they back out.
But at what point do we say, hey, you know what? Once you've been arrested for trafficking, for selling drugs, if you do it again, that's kind of on you.
Cocaine, man, we'll let you back out for cocaine. Oh, meth, don't worry about it. Sit in the pen for a couple years.
You said a little thing. That's not a little thing.
Weed? Oh no, 8 to 9 years, you done.
Okay, how about this?
This guy is
someone who goes out and commits multiple crimes and felonies. If we do doesn't get any reparations. Because the white kid who didn't break the law, who never had any slaves and his forefathers, shouldn't be paying for someone who's a serial offender. Could we do that math? Would that be fair?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
And the reason why, once again, because
I'm trying to find some common ground because that white kid.
And I'm trying to tell you, you're trying to start the starting point right here when you're not factoring in what happened to get that kid in that low-income, impoverished environment that created the criminal that he ended up.
Dude, it doesn't matter like where you're from. Nobody's forcing you to sell drugs. That's what they always blame it on. It's like when you bring up the crack epidemic, they're like, who brought the crack to the inner city? It's like whoever, it doesn't matter. Nobody told you to sell it to your mom. Gold chains weren't that, your soul wasn't worth gold chains, I promise.
Oh my God, this is what we do. It's not crime, it's poverty. Then why do poor white people not commit violent crime at the same rate?
That's true. Again, and he's going to say they do, but they don't. If poverty is if these guys are using poverty as the excuse for the crime issue in the black community, it doesn't map on because there are way more poor white people in the country. Why are they not spinning the block? Why are they not spinning the block?
They do.
No, they don't.
It's just usually different types of crime.
No, they do not.
They do.
It's a fact, dude.
Y'all just shovel them all in the trailer
different
park.
types of
They
just different types of crime.
And then we don't shovel them in the trailer park. They steal.
They go off in the hills and live amongst the rest of the toothless hillbillies, but they do.
You don't hear it.
We're talking about statistical realities.
There's no camera over there. Young white male, when the young white male is the real threat to America as it stands.
You know what?
Dude, he just one more time. This guy just said the young white male is the biggest threat to America. That's what he just said. Stats don't back that up. It's completely flipped. That's a lie. That's the idea to think that. Imagine living in a reality where you believe such a lie. How could you not be hateful and racist? How could you not be? If you walk around being like the young white man is the biggest threat. It's like nothing on paper shows this.
You're right. I agree. You're right about that. Because young white males are going to be the majority with guns, and if you keep telling them that they're fucking criminals and they should pay for people's bad decisions, you don't want to see them angry. Because they've never been angry. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at young men, and they're way, way more angry than I ever was.
Well, if they're that angry, why they could?
So they're getting their ass kicked.
If they're that angry, why are they only killing each other in their communities? When's the last time you? I mean, how many? Let's look at recently.
That's a good question. Why are they not killing black people?
No, you know.
Why are young white people?
I mean, hey, man.
Because they're able to understand that these are not the problem. They're not, listen, they're able to understand that, you know what, perhaps I've been looking at it and I've been taught wrong. Maybe the problem lies with the person who I've been looking up to for all my guidance. Because listen, I mean, think about it. Even with the most, and let me tell you this, and I'm going on record as saying this. I don't care who you are and what your political dissidence is. There's no justification for going out taking the life of someone. Just because you have a different opinion of mine doesn't mean I'm going to get angry enough to say I'm going to go out and shoot you, right? When you go, when everybody asks me, because I got people.
I wish young black men felt the same way about that statement.
People ask me, man, what did you think about this incident with Charlie Kirk? I say, you know what? People are not going to want to talk about it. I say, but this here was really a situation where this kid, more than likely, wasn't angry because of what was happening in black America.
No, he wasn't. That wasn't.
He was angry because of the fact that Charlie Kirk had a different opinion about people who are homosexuals. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. And that was the cause that I believe in my mind personally that led him to say, you know what? This has got to be stopped because of the fact this guy is talking about someone who I love, okay? So let's talk about that. That crime really probably could be looked at more as a crime of passion.
And we're talking about something that's such a rarity that, again, this guy keeps on talking about this stuff that's irrelevant because it's not a generality. Charlie Kirk's situation is not a generality. Now, there are a lot of, it's becoming a very big issue that people on the left are becoming more and more and more violent than they ever have. They have been very violent in the past, you know, but this this is a rarity. You know what I mean?
Versus a political outcry for difference. You
No,
understand?
no, it's political assassination. But here's one thing we can all agree on, right? The guy who shot Charlie Kirk, okay, his roommate, his lover, was a dude who was claiming he was transitioning to a woman. You're just fucking gay at that point.
You're just gay. Let's call it for what it is.
Right? Yeah.
You're just gay.
Can we all agree on that? It's like, no, you're going. He's not even chick yet.
My question is, like, out of that tragedy, why did the next day black communities have to get threats?
They did.
They did.
Yes, they did.
They did not. Black communities did not get threats after the Charlie Kirk assassination. What is he talking about?
Southern University.
You're talking. You're talking to the wrong guy, pal.
No, I'm just asking.
I can tell you who got the
Southern
threats.
University in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
I'm personally tied to that school.
No, you know who got the threats? Let me
Southern
explain.
University got one.
You're turning this into a race thing where I agreed that it's not. But let me tell you something. Every single vigil, every single memorial, where, by the way, both black and white conservatives tried to mourn peacefully their own, desecrated, attacked, assaults, even in war, they let you bury your dead. And that's because of radical LGBTQAIP. That's not a race thing at all, but it's the same wing that's pushing reparations. So when you're linking arms with them,
that is the same wing. When you go to a BLM rally, you're going to see a bunch of rainbow flags. When you go to a place with all the rainbow flags, you're going to see black fists and all that. So again, he doesn't understand, but the community that he's aligning with and the ideology that he's aligning with is he's aligning with the Rainbow Coalition as well. So,
but we need to hear you disown those people too.
So here's the thing. There's a
those
large
two problems should not be tied together.
Hold on, let me finish.
Joy Reid
There's
does.
a large contingent of black America that does disown them. They don't.
no,
speak
that's not true. They're not openly disowning them. Not at all. That's not true. The figureheads, the most popular black men and women in media are not directly going against the LGBTQ. That is not true.
Right. Absolutely. Now, on the right, there's the Jared Taylors and the all of these different people. These super Christian nationalist dudes. I don't see nobody on the right separating themselves from him.
Well, we don't need to because Richard Spencer and David Duke voted for Biden and Harris. Sorry, David Duke endorsed Jill Stein.
Richard Spencer, though.
What I'm saying is white supremacists don't vote Republican. They vote Democrat.
Jared Taylor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Taylor did. And he encouraged all of his people to.
Jared Taylor is not the, first off, he's not in charge of the KKK or like that. He's one who's talked about race and IQ. And I don't know that he did vote for Donald Trump. But I do know that actually
people, the Patriot Front and all of them dudes subscribe to that.
There's nothing that's conservative about white supremacy. That's why they don't vote conservative. They vote Democrat. They're socialists. But the issue here that we're talking about is, again, I agree with you on Charlie Kirk. It's not political. That's why I'm going, I don't think that you realize you pivoted it into a race issue and said black people were more at risk.
Well, you just asked why we didn't separate ourselves from the
No,
extremists.
I
and
said
I'm saying,
after.
why don't y'all separate yourselves from the extremists?
Well, of course we do.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, they do. They do. That's why that's the difference of the right and the left. The right, if they have somebody that's way extreme, he's ostracized and made to be like, yo, that's a weirdo. On the left, oh, they're fully embraced. They're fully embraced.
They suck.
I haven't seen that. I personally haven't seen that.
We all do. It's never enough.
And again, he's saying just because I don't see that, look at the paper. Look at it on paper.
Attention to all that stuff.
We all do. Donald Trump did. He was still able to read. He said, I'm not talking about white supremacists and neo-Nazis who are horrible and should be condemned totally. The media cut it out. Did you know that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you probably heard.
Interesting that he'd ever heard that, because I did, because I looked at the paper.
Said there were fine people on both sides, right?
I heard that clip.
Right
but
before
I knew
that,
it was, I knew
right
it was
before
some
that, he
other
goes,
stuff I just didn't hear all
look, I'm not saying white supremacists are neo-Nazis who should be condemned totally, but.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, make sure to hit that like button. You're helping me build this from the ground up. I appreciate the support more than you'll ever know. Throw some comments in there. I'm reading every comment right now, as long as it's not too crazy.
Outside of that, you had on this monument argument, fine people on both sides.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
Why do you think the media lied to you?
But if he said if that's true, then let me ask you a question.
It is true. I can show you the clip.
Well, why did he not sue those media networks like he said when the interview with Kamala Harris was edited?
He did, and he won.
Well, why was that not publicized?
Why do you think? You think the news agencies want to publicize their losers?
That was going to be my next point. Is media does what it does on both sides.
Yeah.
No, the media.
The media does what it does on both sides, but yet one side is very, very pliable and easy to manipulate. That's the difference. You know what I mean? You can see it with the COVID aspect. You can see it in the voting. You get what I'm trying to say? If it happened to both the same way, then black people wouldn't vote in a monolith at 80% Democrat, right?
Incredibly left.
See, that's the point.
If
That's
you
the
line up
problem
the
we always
media-
have is because when one person says, well, there's problems on your side too, you say, well, no, you dismiss those, and you say, we're just going to point to your problems.
No,
And that's
name
the
me
problem
one
black
right-wing
folks have
source
with
of
white
media.
Americans,
Name me
pointing
one
to our
outside of
problems
Fox
without
News.
acknowledging y'all's.
Name me one outside of Fox News. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC.
NPR.
Local. Name me one outside of Fox News that's conservative. You
None.
can't. Right,
There are none.
That's not a mainstream
it's not
outlet.
news. Yeah.
Right, Bart? Then we could go Salon. Then we could go
it's-
HuffPo. For years in this country, ABC, NBC, CBS. Now you go CNBC, MSNBC, CNN.
Every
all
large
of them are
media
left.
network.
All of them got their shit.
All of them are left.
Yeah,
All of them are
got
left.
their shit.
New York Times, Washington Post. Go through them.
All of
Right?
them
We
got
have
their
to agree on that.
I
That's why you were
agree.
lied to.
I
But that's
agree.
the thing. People lose the ability to
Hey,
think
go
critically.
read this
Think
comment. I agree, caffeinated combat medic. This is why I watch news and form my own opinion and research things, as you should. That's how it should be. Look at what's on paper. Don't believe the propaganda, because if you know that there's a narrative that they're trying to push, just go deep with it, and you'll realize most of this stuff is a complete psyop and a lie. It's not true. And that's the reason why all these black men in this barbershop believe the lies, is because they don't actually check it. They don't actually do that research. They don't know the stats. They don't know. If you knew the stats, how about this? These guys have brought up slavery over and over and over. Do you think that they would go back if they actually internalized and sat on the real history of slavery and how it all happened? Do you think they'd feel this way? No, they have to believe the narrative that it was white people and all the white people basically created slavery and every white person was a slave. All this stuff that they believe because they don't want to do the research. If you do the research on it, it's very hard to have these opinions, because at that point you'd be having to live a lie. And some people are better. Some people would rather take that blue pill and continue to live the lie. I'm not saying that, but it would just it's a little bit harder,
for themselves, and they just lean whatever way the publication or the platform is telling them.
Right.
Now it's up to people that run these platforms and publications to be responsible with their words and how they're leading people. But you got one half of the country that's purely led to think that these people are bad, and then that's all it is. It's just
I think they're bad.
I know they do the whole two wings on the same bird thing, but one wing is way more broken than the other. You know what I mean? If you look at the mission statement of the current Democrat Party versus the mission statement of the current Republican Party, they're much different on what they believe in. One is pro-abortion. One is pro-open borders. One is, it's basically the most Satan. If Satan had a political party, it would be the Democrat Party. The other party's like, yeah, we're not for all the homosexuality. Maybe keep that stuff in the house. Maybe don't push that on our kids. The other side's like, no, like put it in schools. Put it in schools. We want to turn 5-year-old Bobby into little Brandy. That's what we want to do.
I think people who cut out Donald Trump saying, not saying white supremacists and who should be condemned. I think the media that cut out on January 6th, where he said, of course, make your voices heard peacefully, patriotically, but peaceful. You have to be peaceful.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make you.
That's what he said. He said this. That's why they tried to get him for the reason that January 6th happened. It didn't happen. He didn't cause it, because they blocked his Twitter after he posted, be peaceful. They blocked his Twitter. People didn't know that. He said this live. They cut it out.
Your voices heard.
And they cut that out. I think that media is bad.
Statement when this is the same guy who says, if you want your country, come down to D.C. and fight like hell or not.
He did in that same speech. He said, fight like hell peacefully, has to be done peacefully. You know who else said fight like hell? Kamala Harris.
But that's the biggest option. How can you have a peaceful fight? Somebody says, you know what? I'm going to tap you like that.
We're going to act like fight like hell. expression. Oh, come on, you're smarter than that.
crazy.
Fight like hell is an expression. Joy Reid uses it. Kamala Harris uses it. Biden uses it. Barack Obama used it. Every single one.
Let
It's
me
only
ask you a
attributed as
question,
violence to
Steve.
Donald Trump.
Imagine that.
All of those platforms, networks that you and Travis just so eloquently exchanged.
Mine was not eloquent.
How many of those are ran by black people? None of them. We don't control shit. Once again, why we always get the
You're not overrepresented in media ownership because you're not overrepresented in population. Only 13% of the population in America is African American. The only thing you're overrepresented in is crime, abortion, and all of the worst statistics.
blame for everything. We don't control nothing.
What percentage of commentators? Are black?
I don't know. I don't watch mainstream.
It's about 25. It's about 25%, despite being 12% of the population.
But they still working on a platform that is not controlled or ran by black people.
So
we don't.
Okay, let's talk about that. How do blacks represent themselves on, let's say, Zeus Network, which is black owned, where you can go watch baddies? How do they? That's black owned. How do they represent themselves? How is that represented?
So when you lay out responsibility,
is Van Jones not black? Joy Reid not black?
He black.
Sonny Hostin not black?
He black, yes.
They're allowed to express their opinion.
Is he on the Van Jones network? Is Van Jones
Joy
on the
Reid's
Van
numbers
Jones
were dog
network?
shit. That's why she got fired.
Is
Just
he
like
on
Jimmy
the
Kimmel.
Van Jones network?
So now Jimmy Kimmel's numbers are bullshit, but nevertheless, though, you had a national outcry where ABC had to retract and bring him back. I mean,
Someone from the left also shot up an ABC
affiliate.
affiliate.
Huh?
Someone from the left also shot up an ABC affiliate, so that was a big deal.
See, again, Steve, we can go backward and forward all day. The broader context is the fact that, you know what? There is a part of white America that needs to acknowledge the fact that, look, even if reparations is not going to happen, because we damn well know it's not, right? At least stop preventing us from moving forward. Listen, do you know?
I don't know how we are.
How is white America stopping the black community from moving forward? I wonder if he could ever answer that.
You know, right now, in the venture capitalist world, 97.3% of their money, their lending, goes to actual white firms. Now, there was a movement in Georgia where these women were given $20,000 to other women contestants because they had a little small minority component over there, right? That went to court, and they said you cannot do that because it is discrimination, but nobody ever challenged the VC, okay? So you explain to me, now again, we're within our own trying to build up one another, and you turn around and say it's discrimination. See, it's funny how there's an outcry whenever we do the exact same thing.
You don't do the exact same thing. Crime statistics aren't the same thing.
But you're talking crime.
Because you know what I'm talking about is there are young white kids who don't get good breaks either, right? They have some tough breaks, and they don't commit crime in record fucking numbers. And blaming them for this country.
There's a lot of black people that don't commit crime in record numbers.
Statistically, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, nobody's saying that there isn't a lot of black people that don't commit crime. We're saying that crime is overrepresented in the black community. That's two different things. These people don't understand generalities and crime statistics. It's like super low IQ.
There's most of them. Most black people don't. But a young white kid is 12 times as likely to be murdered by a black male than the other way around. In other words, white people, like you said, we're not going in and killing black people.
You hear this? As a white man or a white person, you are 12 times more likely to get murdered by a black person than the other way around. What do you do with that stat? What do? You have to confront it. Why is this happening? Maybe because of I believe it's because of all the anti-white rhetoric. When you are raised to think that white people are soft, easy marks, that they are the reason for slavery, that they're the white devil, it's just bound to happen.
That it is absolutely a fact.
So hard to
what if it is true, guys? Yeah. What if that stat is true?
They're just like, I have a hard time believing that the stat's true. It's like, just because you heard it for the first time doesn't mean that it's not true. Just because it's information you've never heard doesn't mean that it's not factual. What if it is? How about that? What if this is true? Is it a problem? Let's say that. If this is the first time you've heard this stat, what if it's true? And if it is true, is that a major issue?
Where is this happening?
They're like, where is this happening?
The real Earth. What if it's true? Hey, what if I could show you the clip and Donald Trump said, 1 second. Look, I'm the fucking minority here. I get it, right? I'm outnumbered. But what if Donald Trump actually said what I just said? And why don't you know? What if the stat I'm giving you is true? And why don't you know? At a certain point, hey, if you want to blame institutional,
you publicize everything.
If you want to blame if you want to blame a systemic, institutionalized, right, wrongdoing, maybe you should look at you guys being misinformed.
The whole thing is fucked up. That's my point. The whole thing is
12-time murder rate.
Military
The whole
to go
thing
into
is 12-time murder rate.
black
That's a
cities.
fact.
Is that misinformation as well?
What was that?
I say, is that misinformation?
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Is that misinformation when you look at Donald Trump ordering the ICE to go into primarily black cities along with the FBI?
Oh my God, what?
Is that misinformation when you talk about?
You say ordering ICE to go into primarily black cities. Why do you think that is? Do you think that's maybe because that's where the illegal immigrants go to? You think that's where you think the illegal immigrants are in white suburban neighborhoods?
New Orleans.
What else can we say about those cities? What else can we say about those cities?
Question, Steve. I'm asking a question. Is that misinformation? See, you
the way you're presenting it, yeah.
No, Steve, I asked you.
Is it because they're black, or is it because they're sanctuary cities?
Yeah. Is Donald Trump sending ICE to black neighborhoods because they're black, or is it because that's the sanctuary city, that those are highly blue cities that have a lot of illegal immigrants in it? Which one is it? These people are lukewarm IQ.
See, that's
Were they harboring illegal aliens?
That's another bullshit term that you guys have adopted on the right. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he would say that he's the minority in that room, meaning that, hey, guys, I know I'm the minority in this room, which he is. And the fact that he's walking into this room as a white guy to sit down and try to work out some of this stuff, man, it's pretty bold, and it's endearing, to be honest. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes, a lot of men are weak today. They are so fucking soft. You would never do this. I don't know if I would have. That's why it's interesting for me to watch. I don't know if I have the gall to walk into a barbershop and say, let's have talks about racial issues in a room full of black men that statistically are known to maybe punch you in the face when they get offended. You understand that there's a large, I think it's the majority of black men think that if they hear a white guy say the N-word, that it justifies violence. This is endearing that this guy would walk in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't understand. That's why people don't understand ICE and DHS. I know. But it's because, again, this party is going to always uplift and martyrize the worst people. You know what I mean?
No, it's an actual policy.
It's always
an actual policy.
It's not a race thing. It's not a race thing. It's an illegal immigrant thing. Remember, people could just because you might be an illegal Mexican doesn't mean you won't get removed the same way as you will get removed as you're a white Canadian. You understand? Overstay a visa and commit a crime. Yeah, there's high chances you're getting tossed right out too.
Or they don't deport and they actually subsidize illegal. You hear about Aurora, Colorado?
Steve, I'm going to share something with you, and I hope I don't lose my job behind what I'm about to share with you. Let me tell you something.
I hope you don't either.
Let me tell you something right now. There is a big push with this immigration bullshit that is placating the public. Because let me tell you something. When they come to this country, the minute they hit the shore, the first thing they do is call and say that I want Medicaid. And guess what? By law, there is a record called non-citizen emergency expedited Medicaid. We have to give it to them, all right?
Terrible. Why, if this is true, that's terrible. Why don't you just turn them back around? How about that?
So if you want to turn around and talk about immigration, then you got to talk about the corporations and stop incentivizing this shit to happen.
And
all right?
nobody's asking why they got to pay
nobody
that.
Says that. No, nobody talks
I agree with you. Why did
we disagree with? I disagree with that, but we gotta ask is how come right now under Trump there's net negative migration, and under Joe Biden 20 million illegal immigrants came over unvetted? Why? How?
Kamala Harris said that illegal aliens can't get Medicaid.
But the problem
I agree with
existed,
you.
the problem existed long before Kamala Harris, though.
No, what I'm telling you is that the left. Why do you think they have a government shutdown right now?
But that's what I'm saying.
Right now, because the left wants
government shutdown because of healthcare.
Healthcare for who's going to be beneficiary? Illegal aliens.
Yeah.
But see, you say that, but
you shouldn't pay for that. I agree,
that's
right?
Just like
someone
saying
illegally.
Aliens can vote, and you damn well know they can.
Of course
they can. Illegal immigrants have got caught voting. What do you mean? There are people right now that got arrested for voting as an illegal immigrant. That's not true. Illegal immigrants do vote.
No, they can't.
How do we do it?
Instances have you seen?
How many states have voter ID?
Are you kidding me? Look, man, I'm from Louisiana originally. Okay, when I go to vote, damn it, the first thing they ask me to do is, please let me see your ID.
Yeah, how many states have voter ID?
Okay, then you tell me the number. You got the number.
It's over 20 that don't.
So over 20 states that don't.
We were told illegals couldn't get on Medicaid, but here they are.
But I just told you that I just told you that.
I agree with you.
That is something that has been going on in this country for damn years. Because you know why?
So let's deport them.
Who's the corporate benefactors? If you're gonna do that, then make sure that.
Well, you know why? Do you know about the census rule change?
No.
And by the way, this actually directly harms the black community, specifically the black community in a lot of ways, because quiet, and I agree with you, punish them, right? I agree with you 100%. Wouldn't we also apply it to sanctuary cities that have harbored illegal aliens and prevented the deportation?
Because see, we keep going back because of our ethnic differences and our beliefs and what have you. We can never move forward. And right now, we are in the fight of our life.
We can never move forward unless we're honest, unless the truth. The only way that we're all going to come together onto this kumbaya collective is if we're under the same umbrella of truth and morality. And if these people are out here believing something that's not even true, all based on propaganda, it's going to be very hard for us to ever come together.
As Americans, because let me tell you something right now, there's a huge push to supplant that damn dollar. And if you think that dollar doesn't mean nothing, you watch what happens when it loses that reserve currency status. You'll see what it's like to have a goddamn currency that's worth nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to we really got to reevaluate. Listen, we're not gonna ever agree on every goddamn thing, but the one thing we gotta agree on is that we are Americans, and to the rest of the world, whether you black, white, Republican.
Tornado, black fists raining on me for saying the wrong thing.
Steven Crowder. I'm getting some bullshit. So if the young white boy come with that bullshit, I'm gonna meet that bullshit with some bullshit.
Here it is.
We got to move forward.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not asking you to speak for them. I'm asking you guys to consider listening.
Sure.
Because they're at a point where, I don't know if you know this, a lot of young white dudes have had some pretty fucking tough breaks and no advantages. And they grew up in an era. No. Look, everyone has it. Everyone has it.
Nothing about no poor disenfranchised.
But that's the disconnect, man.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man.
Okay.
Real talk. That's
Okay.
real talk.
Well, real talk. 12 times the murder rate. You don't want to believe it? Fine.
I don't.
And that kid's not going to want to pay reparations.
You know what else on top of that?
Yeah.
I ain't scared. So you can throw them threats out there all you want.
I know you're not scared.
About what the young white man might do.
I know you're not scared because you're 12 times less likely to be the victim of a violent crime from a white person than he is of you.
That's why would you be scared?
I'm 12 times more likely to defend myself against some bullshit. So if the young white boy come with that bullshit, I'm gonna meet that bullshit with some bullshit.
A lot of white people going into black neighborhoods.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of white boys going into black neighborhoods fucking around.
A lot of white boys going into black neighborhoods and messing around. That's stupid.
Nobody playing. Understand
Well, you guys, come on, let's real talk. You've never seen a white person come in solo into a black neighborhood and start a fight. I don't think you've ever seen it.
I don't see black people.
Let's be honest, guys. You're not afraid of young white kids.
Steve, you saw a white man going to
You are, correct me.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also giving you a flip side to that coin that you completely ignored.
No, because he said I'll stop some bullshit from a white. I tell you, young white guys are afraid when they're surrounded by black guys.
Okay, but don't come around black guys.
I'm afraid when I'm surrounded by a bunch of white men. I'm just not going to.
That's not true. That's the safest room you're going to be in, my guy. That's the safest room you're going to be in.
I'm not.
No, I'm not saying you.
Dude, I'm surrounded. This could be an entire tornado of black fists raining on me for saying the wrong thing.
Steven Crowder, I'm talking to boy that you're talking about. The young white boy that
I'm not even saying I wouldn't deserve it.
I'm talking to him. If you're that scared of black people, don't come around black
They're not scared. They're tired of it.
Well, don't stay away from us.
That's what they say.
You got your own areas.
Then don't ask them to pay for it.
And we're not
because once again.
Oh, so you want them to stay away but foot the bill.
So you got to do that with everything.
And now it's the kid. Now it's the boodle and nothing is it. Stay away from us but pay for us. Do you realize that guy's
going to wait for us but pay for us?
If we're gonna do that, if we're gonna give you that, then you.
Are people ever responsible for their own decisions?
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is young white people are going, we're tired of being blamed for racism when we're getting beaten up, we're getting killed, and we don't have any affirmative action or DEI, and they're saying we need to actually have a conversation here.
Fast forward a little bit more, guys.
For a long time, and you've been conditioned to think that as a black man, I'm a certain type of person. Well, you're gonna lean this way, and you're gonna categorize my speech as a certain thing. But if you free thinking and you clear thinking and you can think for yourself and say, well, let me examine what he said before I label him. Because that's what everybody quick to do is label somebody as something.
Yeah.
Everybody got to be labeled as something. You got to be a leftist or rightist or you got to be a conservative or whatever. It's like everybody's got a label.
Yeah.
If you think for yourself and say, you know what he said is actually, it ain't all the way wrong. He might have said it in a fucked up way. That's the thing that, once again, no disrespect to the dead, but that's what I give Charlie. Charlie said a lot of shit in fucked up ways sometimes to certain people.
Like what?
If you come from a certain black, like once again, if I'm on the phone with a customer service representative that's a moronic black woman, well, okay, I'm gonna hear that statement and saying, well, I get that you might think just anybody working in customer service may be moronic, but you didn't have to point out.
But what did he say that was messed up?
Moronic black woman. So to black women, it's gonna be a long way.
You're talking about that quote. So here's something that's important, right? Because Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Let's be clear about this, and we're both agreeing because people believed a lie. He never said black women were moronic. He never said that. He said it specifically about Ketanji Brown Jackson or Jackson Lee, about 3 black women who said, "I'm here because of DEI." He said, "If you're saying, I agree. I don't think you're smart enough for that job." Because they're not great, in his opinion. Yeah, but he said, "I agree with your statement." He never said black. He had black women who worked.
The exact quote he used. I watched the interview where he was talking to this blonde lady. I forgot her name, but
Megyn Kelly.
No, it wasn't Megyn Kelly. She's ugly. All right. You have the responsibility in your words.
MLK, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's wrong.
Yep.
We can say it's all wrong.
Ketanji Brown Jackson, what's that young lady, Michelle Obama, all these people with DEI hires. In other words, we respond differently because we have gotten so accustomed to it in terms of what's believed about us or perceived about us. So we just know, hey, at tomorrow it'll be another sound bite on some other shit. You understand what I'm talking about? So we're not going to react the same way.
Why
so
is this guy in the barbershop?
Acknowledge the fact that, hey, you know what? There may need to be a change in the conversation overall as it relates to what's really the hell going on with white and black America. That's why I say, I just need you to kind of and Steve, when I say this, it's not a challenge, but I got to ask you got to tell me these sources where you're getting this 12 times more likely.
Okay, so it's back to just disbelieving the statistics. In the end, I don't know if these guys learned one thing, but when I watched this video, I learned a lot, meaning that stats and data do not matter. Your personal anecdotal feelings and emotions do. I think we're going to end this off in a bit, but I got some really cool stuff to cover on Instagram. You guys want to watch some awesome Instagram videos with me? Because this is going to only back up some of these things that I said a little bit more in real time. Dude, if you scroll Instagram right now, when you're on that algorithm, you're inundated with so much of the anti-white rhetoric, beating up white people, and just the most ratchet, wild shit ever. And we're going to watch some of it. Let's go. Let's see, guys. Boom, boom, boom. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's not letting me do it. Actually, give me 1 second. Thanks again for joining me, guys. And remember, Danny's watching. What up, Danny? What up, bro? Here we go. Here we go. I found all these videos today. Lots of videos that we're gonna watch together. And you know what? I try to find a lot of videos of black people, more black conservative people going against the grain as well. So remember, it's not there are black people that are saying the same thing I'm saying. So just remember, they're saying the same thing I'm saying. They must be white supremacists. Yeah. They must be white supremacists. I think that was yesterday. All right, let's go.
But dear white people,
listen to this.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but dear white people, your forefathers were eating us.
Dear white people, your forefathers were eating us. We were eating black women. Our forefathers were eating black women. We were just chewing them up.
And each other and their pregnant wives before they even brought slaves over here in Jamestown.
Oh, you're talking about in situations where cannibalism occurred for survival. In all cultures, this happened, right? Right now in Haiti, like, there are people you ever heard of this dude named Barbecue? What? Go look up the gangs in Haiti. There's a guy that's eating humans right now. So the idea that she's bringing up cannibalism will happen in any group of people where there is no food and it just it's happened. It's not good. But the idea that like white people running around eating black people they think there's people that think this. Again, if you believe this, how could you not be racist towards whites? How could you not how could you not do something bad one day, you know?
As if you're black, integration has had great benefits. I'm telling you, and I'm saying this as a collective, let's drain this place of its benefits.
Oh, he's talking about, he thinks that we, as all black people, should go back to Africa. Huh. That's an interesting concept. I wonder if I ever said something like, I would never say anything like that. I think that's crazy racist, and I love my black bros. It'd be crazy if I couldn't hang out with my black friends. But I wonder what would happen if I said something like this. Or how about this? Do you think it would be worse or better? What do you think?
And make our mass exodus and go home and build.
Yeah, run that.
I repeat, integration has had great benefits, black people. For some of us.
When black Americans went back to Africa and created the country of Liberia, the first thing they did was enslave their neighbors.
Let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home I
support it. I support it. If black people don't like America and you're anti-American and you don't like being surrounded by white people because of how violent, and us spinning the blocks and us doing all these things, you should, I think that you, that's true. Danny said that's what you should do. You should go rebuild Wakanda. What is it like this? You should go rebuild Wakanda. That shit was decimated in Endgame. Go mine some more vibranium and go rebuild Wakanda. Right, Danny.
As if you're black.
What's next?
I'm so proud of y'all for killing that white boy.
What do you say?
See, they not used to this shit happening to them, y'all. My only problem is it should happen more.
Huh. Interesting.
You guys are retarded.
Well.
This is why I'm fucking up. This is why I got a problem with my people. It should happen more. We should make a day like every Thursday or every Wednesday where we just wake up and fuck up a white girl or a white boy. Just pick a little girl, smack the shit out of her. Little boy, smack.
Here he said he started with girl. He was like, we should wake up and beat up a white girl. Like he's the type that it's probably right.
Shit out of him.
Right on. He's checking those boxes.
Old lady, white, whatever. We should set up a day.
Beat up. This is a grown man talking about we should go beat up old white women. And he's saying it with a smile. He's being dead serious. This isn't a joke. This is not a joke. Not a joke at all. And we live. This could be our neighbor, yo.
Once a week, we just fuck them up, y'all. Until they go back to the mountains. Yeah, last Saturday, we just fucked them up. Oh, this cuz. We wake up, we yawn, we brush our teeth, we wash our face, and we go outside, and we just fuck them up. First,
you're going to prison. You're going to go to prison if that happens. You can go to prison if that happens. And you might get put on a shirt because there's white boys got a lot of guns too,
That's how we gotta start getting our day started. Can we please pick a day where we just fuck them white people up? Just beat their ass. Especially the old ones. Just beat their ass, the kids. Just beat their ass. Everybody, get in the comments.
Now he's talking about beating kids up and children. I wonder if he thinks about we wake up one day, just beat up some infants.
Where's National Fuck White People Day? Seriously, we just beat them up. Just walk the
National Fuck White
Shit about to change
People
whether they know it or not. They talking all this shit online, this racist shit, but the reality, they gonna have to get out here with us in a
He's mad. He's so mad.
minute. And boy, I can't wait the day we beat the fuck out these crackers. They don't stand a chance. I just can't wait to take these hands. Oh, it's about to be soon. Good job, y'all. Let's say the day we do that to their kids more. I hope their kids rotting in hell. As a matter of fact, I wish I knew what a little white boy grave was so I can go spit on that bitch. Dig him up, smack him up again, stab him up again, put his ass back in there. That's the day we just beat their ass, y'all. Let's get him.
This is what we're dealing with, yo. It's not wrong. Let's see what
So go attack old people, kids, anybody that's white. They deserve it. The call for violence from the black community. This isn't the only person that's talking like this.
A lot of people are talking like this. A lot. There is a lot. My social media is inundated with this right now.
I've seen multiple videos that have this same tune. It's demonic. This tone of let's go hurt white people. Somebody was convicted of murder and you are upset about that. The truth is this. The truth is nobody deserves to be attacked because of the color of their skin. And this is what this person in this video is calling for. It's demonic and people should speak out against it.
I'm so proud of y'all for killing that white boy. See, they not used to this shit.
How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think that white people should be attacked over the color of their skin? What do we got here? I'm just gonna block the music. Let's see this. This is at a graduation ceremony. Hey, look at this graduation. Graduation, let's twerk, let's dance around. Yeah, dancing and dancing, dancing and dancing. I would love to see. Oh my God. These are the future lawyers and doctors, man. All right, next one. We got some other stuff to go through. We got a lot of cool stuff. What's this? Oh, wait. Oh shit. What's happening here?
And I'm gonna tell you something else about this Carmelo shit, man. That's gonna fuck y'all up, right? That motherfucking activist that y'all think is his father, all right, that's an activist. Man, the reason why this nigga had got his face off the scene at first is because he got in trouble with his baby mama. And he broke her foot. His baby mama foot was all over the internet at first, so they had to take him off the front line, you feel me? And he got a whole bunch of charges. The man used to be a cross-dresser and everything.
Sorry, guys. I know I don't know if you guys heard me about that last video. That was just a meme video. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, go ahead. All you gotta do is look up his rap sheet. Listen, I was following this case from the beginning. I've been doing this with this case, bro. See, y'all trying to figure out, you trying to please the white man? No, it's not even all that dumb bitch nigga shit, bro. It's like this. It's not that type of situation. Yo, we got a real fucking problem right here. We got motherfucking immigrants from all over the world over here who truly hate this fucking country because our country done did some shit to them back in their country. A lot of these immigrants is in the hood that got these motherfucking stores. They over here because they did America a favor. They did some dirt back in their motherfucking country, man. They don't like us, bro. That's why the motherfucking child man was able to shoot that young black boy in the goddamn streets. Now you see how Carmelo Anthony got dealt with. Child should have got dealt with too. There was no fucking stolen goods on the kid. And regardless if he had a gun, no evidence that he even pointed at him. All shows that he was running away from them. Even the police says more evidence that the gun dropped out of his pants while he was running.
No, I mean, not true. I mean, he got self-defense. He got away. Oh, look at this one. You ready for this? This is. We all need to watch this.
Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
What's he saying?
Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is.
You heard what he's saying? You hear what he's saying? That's the sentiment right now. That's the sentiment.
Black people, go home. Okay? He's guilty.
All right, let's go to that next one.
It's like they're telling us that you could be assaulted, but you better not fight back. That's what this is what.
It turns out that he wasn't assaulted. This is Carmelo Anthony's parents saying this when all the witnesses in court never said he was assaulted. Never did.
This case saying. They don't care. It could be 2-3 people, size, they don't matter.
Yeah.
So that's.
I wish they would have taught their kid not to bring a knife to school and also not to hate white people.
That's what this case is really all about. The family is saying now, I just got a message, they saying they were robbed. He didn't go look for this. That's why they try to paint that picture.
He did go look for this because he was told to leave 15 times.
They painted a picture, and he didn't look for this. This walked into his life. Literally, matter of fact, they say it like this: the evidence shows he jumped 3 bleachers to get to him.
And so the video that you all...
That's Carmelo Anthony's parents. All right. So this is another video. So do you think that if your kids are part of this culture that I'm about to show you, that there could be problems?
We just spent something up in the house with drinks and buttons. They said first the week get worse and flip will take our promise they coming. We got to finish that making 100.
These kids are 13, 14. These are 15-year-old kids tatted on their necks, and they all got guns, right? Do you think that if your children are part of this culture, that it could be problemsome?
Gave me a little, I pull up and jump. All that this, my niggas ain't real. Little shorty got hit with the back of the bike. Come here. I'm multitasking when I rap, cause I still put my ops in park. If the bird out when it's danger, we gon' slide with it.
All right, enough. I just thought that'd be interesting to watch.
I feel stupid for even calling you, trying to make you believe what I believe. Cause I really believe it.
Cause you are stupid. So since you feel some type of way and you feel remorse, put a Mossberg in your mouth and make artwork on your fucking ceiling.
He's talking about Charleston White.
You do more harm than good, man. You really do. You're very disingenuous. You're one of those motherfuckers who just swear up and down. You just know what it is and you don't. You just called this man whose son he's gonna lose to the system, talking about have faith. Did you tell your co-defendants that? When your boy popped the white dude who could have otherwise been minding his business because you goofy niggas stole like a starter jacket? Have faith in the system, man. It'd be all right. We good? No, nigga. So why you telling this man? Why you telling this man that shit, bro?
All right, next one.
Crooked ass trial, crooked ass court, crooked ass motherfucking jurisdiction.
Yo, you should not drink a bunch of Hennessy or whatever you're drinking and get online all emotional. This video is going to be up for the rest of this guy's life.
Crooked ass goddamn prosecutor, lying ass motherfucking witnesses, whole tampered with ass fucking trial. And I'm gonna call that fucking shit out as long as the fuck I feel like it. Fuck you. Fuck every motherfucking 6K ass crooked ass fucking cracker. Every last one of you bitches.
Somebody said bro's breath does poison damage. I can smell this dude's hot breath through this video. Terrible.
Fuck your mind, fuck your heart, fuck your thoughts. I don't give a fuck what you think, what you feel. I don't fuck you. Literally. Crooked ass trial.
All right, let's keep it going. We got some more Instagram videos.
So I've heard a lot about justice for Carmelo.
This is funny too, because he said, man, that those guys went looking for trouble.
Oh, right?
Yeah. This is for Carmelo. I would have stabbed that nigga too.
Why?
I would have stabbed him too. He would have stabbed Austin Metcalf.
Hey, I would have did it to him. I promise I would have. I would have did it to him.
But why?
I would have did it to him and his brother.
Okay, but for what reason?
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Them little boys came looking for trouble.
Okay.
When you come looking for trouble, you don't know what fucking outcome going. Boys were looking for trouble.
Okay.
Now, wait, just watch this video. Does he fall into that same camp? So I'm thinking that by his own logic, that this guy in the green shirt has justification to do the same thing that Carmelo Anthony did.
You know what happened? He got stabbed and he died because he went looking for trouble. That's self-defense, motherfucker. So if you can't see that between your fucking little ass brain, motherfucker,
all right.
Do I have to whisper it to you?
So
you want me to whisper it to you?
No,
You want me to whisper it to you?
Look, I think that by his own rhetoric or his own logic, that this guy now has the right to poke him up.
Motherfucker! You can talk.
You want me to whisper it to you?
Well, you're yelling right now.
All right, then, bitch. Play with somebody else, nigga. I'm a real gangster.
I'm a real gangster. Why are these motherfuckers getting so goddamn overly emotional when nobody's provoking them? All bro did was ask a fucking question. Now you're all in his ear acting all sensitive and shit because you can't prove your point without getting violent? That's really some fucking low IQ bullshit. Oh yeah, let me fucking justify a black kid stabbing and killing somebody, and let me make...
Yo, this Carmelo kid, yeah, I know, that's interesting too. That's interesting too, Danny. After you like put all of the whole thing on, you followed all the way through. How do Carmelo's parents even love him? They spent all of that money on new houses. He can't even get the lawyer for an appeal right now. And they raised him to be the way that he is. And they got up and left in the court. They left him. They left. They didn't even sit around in court. Like, for real. Was he just a patsy or whatever?
Make sure I'm very threatening so you believe my argument. The fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't work. If you just because you get loud and you're really trying to, it doesn't mean that we believe you. Doesn't mean that your point's any more poignant because you're loud and obnoxious about it.
And you fucking retards gonna realize that ain't nobody fucking threatened by that fucking aggressive ass loudmouth bullshit. The loudest one in the room usually won't bust a fucking grape. If I know I can fuck you up, I'm not gonna try to convince you that I can fuck you up. I'm gonna avoid the altercation so I don't go to fucking prison when I put you on a fucking t-shirt. Real gangsters don't have to fucking brag about being gangster.
So I've heard.
Let's keep it going.
I'm out here with the right folks. It ain't none of that nigga shit going on out here. You got clean air.
Oh, he's just saying, oh, it's nice in this white neighborhood.
It's quiet. Niggas ain't begging for shit. Can you spare some change? None of that. It's beautiful. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
How can you be mad at this? Who wouldn't want this? It's clean. It's quiet. I'm out here with the right folks.
It's awesome.
I ain't gonna lie, I love my people, man, but I don't go nowhere where a bunch of black people at. No way. How finesse say, no. That's a death trap waiting to happen. I am not trying to go out there where I got a lot of living to do. I got a lot of plans that I'm trying to fulfill, and I ain't trying to go out that way. Because black people don't know how to act when they together and they're in large crowds. You know what I'm saying? Nigga might see a nigga that fucked his bitch 5 years ago and start shooting. Hell no. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm dead. I didn't say it. He did.
Only black people are at the point where they will feel sorry for the criminal.
They've been, yeah, but that's like a liberal thing, and because they are on that side politically, they are constantly martyring and uplifting the worst of people. You know what I mean? So even in this case, they basically think that Carmelo Anthony is like a hero for committing an atrocious crime and getting locked up for it. The same way as the guy that passed off a fake 20 and swallowed a bunch of fentanyl. He got this kind of stuff. They make martyrs out of the worst people ever.
And the murderer more than the actual person who's not with us anymore. The actual victim they don't care about. Everyone feels sorry for this little monster. I never felt comfortable around you.
So I just said the last 10 rappers that were all murdered by so-called, who were they murdered by? Who were they murdered by?
You niggas, that's why I got the hell away from y'all.
You know what I mean?
Y'all think this is a game, like, oh, you're just saying this for likes and clicks.
And here's another one I'm going to read off one of the comments. A lot of black people are standing with Anthony, not because he's innocent, but because he's black. And he was accused and found guilty of killing a white man. That's the reason why they're supporting him.
No, I'm not even near you niggas. My kids don't go to school with you niggas. This ain't for likes. This is for...
They also, next one is, if Austin was black, the black community would not be in an uproar. Everybody listen to me. This is not how you fix the system. You don't defend a killer no matter what color he is.
For real. Like growing up when my friends would come over, hey, my dad would check him at the door. Listen, man, you gotta take that do-rag off. This do-rag ain't allowed here. My dad didn't like do-rags. Because he watches the news. He see who's doing the killing.
He's right. That man is 100% correct. He is. And let me say this also.
These guys are white supremacists.
So-called black people in America carry lethal weapons to protect themselves from other black people.
Yeah, that's the reason why, like most black men, when they have a gun on them, you can ask them. They're not carrying that to protect themselves from white people. You know what I mean?
In this country, you know I'm right. Because the true threat and or enemy of black people in America are other black people and not so-called white people. And this is why many so-called black Americans do not carry lethal weapons to protect themselves from so-called white people in this country. This is a reality because so-called white people are not the true threat and or enemy to black people. This is why you see many of your favorite rappers have been gunned down, not by white people, but black people in America. Again, this is a reality. You are lying if you disagree. You are delusional if you disagree. Again, the gentleman is correct in his talking points.
Only black people are at the point.
Yo, was he cooking? Hey, chat, was he cooking? Because I thought he cooked. Oh, this guy seems like he's about to add a lot of intelligence to the conversation.
Listen up, y'all. Before anybody get angry and upset about this situation, remember what I told y'all. 2026, we're about to see some things that we ain't never saw before. I specifically told y'all this here. I've been sitting back watching everything that goes on. Black America, we ain't moving up yet. We still in the same position we was in 30, 40, 50 years ago. You know why? Niggas want.
Well, that's not necessarily true because after the Jim Crow era, the community was on the biggest upward path ever. Highest marriage rate, lowest divorce rate, all of the best statistics ever. And something happened, and people don't want to admit what it was. But right now, the community is in the worst place that it's ever been. And I don't think that has to do with white people.
Want to play gangster. Niggas want to put money to their head. Niggas want to shoot niggas. Niggas want to do all these shit against niggas, but we ain't building a motherfucking thing, my nigga. What done happened right now with Carmelo Anthony? My nigga, I want to tell you something. My nigga, you gonna change the world. I told y'all, we gonna have to lose good people in order for us to be able to stand up for something that's right. Everybody know that boy don't supposed to go to jail. All white jury, nigga, that sound like some goddamn 1908 shit, my nigga.
Again, I wonder why the jury didn't have any black people on it. I wonder if he knows why. Do you guys know why? Well, let me just tell you. The reason why there wasn't any black people on Carmelo Anthony's jury is because when they signed the papers, they said, no matter even if he's guilty, I can't send a brother to jail. So that disqualified them from being jurors.
That don't sound like no
right.
shit that's supposed to be going on right now. But it's showing us that, my nigga, man, we got to get off the bullshit. Nigga, that could have been your child. We got to get off the bullshit.
He's saying that could have been your child. That he's saying from the Carmelo Anthony position. That could have been your child. You know, your kid could have went to prison for stabbing up somebody.
Stop arguing and hating on each other. When we gonna start building with each other? All I'm doing is asking. They doing it right in our face, man.
All right. Okay. I'm losing brain cells here. Let's see what this. She's pretty. Let's see what she says.
The white men don't have to do anything to suppress black people, sweetheart. Black people are doing it all by themselves. Y'all love to try to blame the white man for everything. Let me just tell you, the white man ain't forcing you to go to the liquor store every weekend. The white man not forcing you to go to the club every weekend. The white man not forcing you to drink lean. He not forcing you to pop Percocets. He's not forcing you to have all these illegitimate bastard-ass kids. The white man is not forcing you to do none of it. You are willingly participating in this mess of a life. So don't sit in my face and try to tell me what the white man is doing to you. They did it to them. We the product of what they did to them. Now it's up to us to change the way we think, change the way that we eat, change the way that we do things, change the places that we go to, change the people that we're procreating with. Change. But no, y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear some shit that's toxic. That's what y'all want to hear. Man.
Somebody in there said, I've never been shot by a white man. But it's still this, and you know, my boy Gambo said I'm white and I still watch this with the volume off. Sheesh, it's stupid.
Like, damn, no one is saying racism doesn't exist, but you black folks constantly in white people's face yelling at them for what? They didn't do it. You cracker! You cracker! You slave owner! You ain't nothing but a Jim Crow creating cracker! And I was like, geez, I just came home from work. Like, I just want to build a fence for my kids. I just want to change my engine and go to work and not have to worry about going to the grocery store and hearing Bunquisha yell because the fucking ham hocks weren't on sale. Like,
Stupid. Stupid. It's so dumb.
Y'all need to stop. I know white folks are so freaking tired of freaking these black liberals, bro. Y'all need to get out their face. Like,
It's true. She's not wrong. What else? What else we got? This isn't in the white neighborhood. This is a joke. Oh, they're beating it. Alright, I can't do the violence thing because you know that there's just thousands of videos of that.
Anytime I tell you something that's stupid, the first thing you tell me is about what happened in 1970. Fuck 1970 in 2023. Bro, I'm sorry. No, I love it.
It's true. It's true. You try talking about something that's relevant, but what happened 400 years ago? It's like, that's not.
Attention, white people. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to play a video, and then I want to hear from my melanated brothers and sisters how this makes them feel, and I want to hear from the white community. How does this make you feel? Collin County, Dallas, Texas, Arlington, Grand Prairie, Irvin, Dalworth, Plano, Denton, Keller. It ain't safe for none of you white folks to come out this weekend.
Ooh, if a white guy went on social media and said this, it would be all over the news.
I'm giving y'all a fair warning right now. And guess what? It's going to be a bunch of niggas outside that look like me. And we ain't out there with no pocket knives. We out there with these. I guarantee y'all going to pay for what that judge just did to Carmelo. If you don't believe me, bring y'all bold ass out this weekend and put on your Austin Metcalf shirts and see what happened to you. You know, I'm really...
Yeah, dude, that's insane. I'm just giving you more of the information, yo. What do you guys think? Yeah, that's Carmelo, the Carmelo clique.
Take all these masks off. Take all these masks off.
Look at all that. This ain't gonna be long at all, cause this is a bunch of bullshittery right now. Look in the crowd. Look on in the crowd. Do you see one of them motherfuckers? Do they look like they could be yours? If you answered yes, you better get a hold of that little nappy-headed motherfucker, cause he gonna get his head blowed the fuck off. Look in the crowd now. Shit, he ain't got to be nappy-headed. You could have some straight-head motherfuckers off in there too. Pants hanging all around your ankles and everything. You look like some pirates. Some broke-ass pirates. Half of them look like they got like coffee grounds stuck in their drawers. This whole little lineup look musty as shit. I don't know when they decided to start this new fashion wave where they're going to be dressing like some unmotivated ninjas, you know, can't kick high. The ones that can't kick. The ones that can't, the ones them. I don't know when they started this shit, but they need to cut this bullshittery out. You need to turn them uniforms the fuck in. I seen 3 of these little motherfuckers in a goddamn gas station and I'm like, the fuck, it is hot in a motherfucker outside. Why you got that hot ass shit up around you ignorant motherfucker? This is what I've been trying to tell y'all for I don't know how long. You gotta cut out this damn soft belly parenting. You understand what I'm saying? Now I know it's a whole lot of specialists on here, on the Instagrammables, that like to tell you that you need to take some time and you need to have a conversation, build a dialogue. But I'm telling you that shit don't work for every child. You understand? That's why I'm making this early PSA to tell you parents, take your motherfucking monkey soft belly ass on in their room and go start looking in their shit. Go look in they ain't got no job. They ain't got no bills. They ain't gonna be paying no bills lined up on the bed where they gonna be contributing. Go in there and go see what the fuck they got going on in their closet. And if your seed happen to have these types of clothes hanging up in the closet, balled up in the corner, then you need to be having some conversations and tell them, hey, cut this bullshittery out. You gonna fuck around and be laid out somewhere, okay? We ain't in the mood for no fucking cash apps. We ain't in the mood for no motherfucking donations on GoFund. We ain't in the mood to be cashing in policies. Cut this motherfucking shit out.
She's right. She's right.
So now,
Part two. This is
now
part
it's
two.
a problem because he guilty. We already knew he was guilty. But now it's because his lawyer was incompetent. Well, they raised $600,000. Okay? Couldn't they find a competent lawyer? Okay? Not only that, the jury has nothing to do with your skin color, okay? The jury is of your peers, meaning of your peers, not your skin color or however it is that you relate. I mean, did y'all learn anything in school?
Nope.
I mean, a quick Google search will tell you that.
You guys are retarded.
Y'all mad because it was an all-white jury. Now you knew, it was an all-white jury, so we already knew the outcome. What about the evidence, boo? Like, they're not convicting on emotions. They're convicting on what they actually can prove. And they prove that he murdered Austin. Okay? Let it go.
I mean, where's the lies, man? Where is the lies?
America is being held hostage by the black community. I said that on my other page, and they removed my sound for speaking the truth. It is the truth. And it's
I don't
about
know what kind of filter she's using. She looked like an alien.
time that we actually have this conversation. They don't get what they want, they throw a fit. They don't get what they want, they burn things down. They don't get what they want, they yell racism. Every day, members of my community and yours are being unalived by black people.
Yep.
And it's a no bail, no bond, and they throw them back on the street just so they can murder another one of us. But if we were to show up like them and burn down buildings and spray paint on everything, they would arrest every fucking one of us and throw us in jail. And I know why it is. I know why, because we're held to a higher standard.
Not only that, that's not just it, that whites and other communities are held to a higher standards, is that we weren't propagandized to become domestic terrorists. That's what it is. And that's what the media the media has basically propagandized the black community to become domestic terrorists. That's what I believe. Not all, but for real.
Than they are, because we should know better. Us whites should know better, but they don't know better. If they only realize that the Democrat Party actually looks at them like that.
And that they do. That's what the Democrat. If you look at what the Democrats think of black people, that's crazy. It is. They think they don't even know what. One lady said they don't even know what a computer is.
They look at them like you're so emotional, like an emotional child that doesn't get their way, so they destroy.
And that's the difference between me and a liberal. I'm holding black people accountable, even though I'm not black. I'm treating black people like I would any other race. I'm not gonna handle them with kids' gloves. I'm gonna just be honest, and then ask. I know you might disagree, but where am I lying? How about that?
Destroy everything, and they think that's acceptable, and they've been able to get away with it for so long. They keep doing it until someone has the balls. I'm a nobody. There are so many other people that could get up here and say, yes, the black community is holding this country hostage to their ridiculous fucking demands. But no one will say it because all they care about is a fucking check.
Or they just don't care. They care about not being labeled racist as well.
That's all they care about.
She's right.
I like this. I just want to go to the beginning part of this. This was interesting to me. This is a guy named Brandon Tatum. I call him Talmud Tatum. I agree with a lot of his generic conservative takes. But I think it's very interesting because as a kid, he was raised this way.
I grew up hating white people. Only the white people that was teaching at my school and our coach, I liked them white people because they different. But the average white person I did not like. And this was more subconscious than anything. I felt a sense of resentment towards white people when I was growing up. Because when all you hear is slavery and what they did to your people, and when you're young and stupid and
How would that not breed hate?
The United States of America migrated. The brain is not developed. You start picturing that every white person either did it or benefited from slavery. And then when you live in a community and you struggling, or you see struggle all around you, nobody want to take accountability. They blame the white man. And so when you grew up in that, you have no choice but to hate white people. White people done moved on. They didn't have nothing to do with this. Most white people that migrated to I grew up hating white people. After slavery was over.
Yeah.
They didn't have nothing to do with this.
Most black people that are in America today migrated to America after slavery. Interesting.
Fuck you.
It says white woman goes on full meltdown mode after her EBT card gets declined.
You got anger issues.
Fuck you.
You need help.
He's holding a baby.
All of them, like, don't give a yo. What is she talking about? I don't give a about none of this.
Look at the normal people walking in the back like, don't look, just don't look. Let's get our bread.
What is she talking about?
And remember, this is don't believe our lying eyes.
That's assault.
Like, you know what, already because you've been this white nigga.
Stupid.
Stop being an idiot and stop embarrassing those of us who look like you with your foolishness. I'm talking to those of you out there who are taking part in this new trend where you run up on a random white person that you see and you accuse them of being one of the jurors on the Carmelo Anthony trial and you take out your anger and aggression on them. I know why you're doing this. I'm not stupid. We all know that there is a template now. You've seen this for the past probably 10 years now, where if your skin color looks a certain way, guess what? You basically can get away with just about anything you want with no consequences. Or if someone actually retaliates against you for acting a fool, then you're the first one who's going to be entitled to some sort of GoFundMe payout or the George Floyd treatment or so on and so forth, right? Let me tell you, that game is played out. No one is going to tolerate that behavior anymore. I'm surprised they tolerated it this long to begin with. But the fact of the matter is, there's far too many people out there who are engaging in this behavior thinking there will be no consequences, and they're unintentionally embarrassing the entire collective whole of their race as a result. They're not going to get the treatment they think they're going to get. They're actually going to get something far worse, and they're actually creating a deeper racial divide because they cannot simply act like normal human beings. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick of being lumped in with them, and I'm sick of people dragging down the collective whole with their foolishness. So don't be an idiot. Don't put yourself in a situation where you could become the next George Floyd or Carmelo Anthony because you're not going to get the hero's welcome or the hero's reception you think you're going to get.
Speaking facts, we got a couple. I think we have like just one or two more.
Honestly speaking, like, who wants to live around this? Black women are responsible for raising some of the worst people in today's society, men and women. The men have completely disappeared from the homes, and the children are completely out of order.
Know that, nigga. Fuck all ops, nigga. Dumb ass little boy. You spanking ass, roll in nightmare, man. You know that, nigga. Tell this shit get bad for real. Fuck all that. Tell this shit get bad for real. Bow, bow.
And when you look at the music, the culture, the exception level, it's all shit. And it's so crazy to me how every other race who seems to be uncomfortable with this has been called a racist because they just don't want to live around dysfunction.
You don't have to throw the money at me like that.
I don't give a fuck. Give me my shit. Let's go. Got shit to do. Life to save.
Oh,
Life.
You got lives to save?
I'm a fucking nurse, ain't I? Put my shit in the bed. Hurry up and bite. Let's go.
Okay.
And the part that really pisses me off is that the moment someone talks about it, they become anti-black or racist. I don't care if the black...
And that's crazy too, is because, my black friends, they know I love black people, but anybody that watches this can possibly lump me into that category, that I'm anti-black. No, I'm anti-popular black culture. I am anti-immorality and degeneracy. And if you wear that shoe, if the shoe fits, you can take your foot out of that shoe at any time.
Community likes me or not. I would never want to be liked by such a low quality of life anyway.
I could say nigga, yeah, I'm black. I could say
Gunshots every weekend, predators walking the street, kids dropping out of school. Ooh, I'm so offended. These are the real statistics. Let me introduce you to per capita.
She's one of the good ones.
You guys are retarded.
Around white people, what the fuck is that? What for? What is that? What is self-defense? Is self-defense not somebody touching you that you don't want touching you and you defending yourself? What is self-defense? Murder? Murder? Hold on. The same guy that saved the life? The same guy that saved the life? Austin, mother. As a mother, mother to motherfucking mother, you seen that woman on the motherfucking news crying. You know damn well Carmelo did not try to kill your son. He wanted to defend himself.
Carmelo didn't try to kill anybody, but he did this whole thing where he pulled out a knife. He threatened the guy and then pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the heart. But he didn't try. I don't understand.
Them big ass motherfucking boys in his face. You should have taught your sons to go get a motherfucking adult like we know how to do. But that was in his...
My baby, you know, for the most abort babies and fatherless kids per capita, you would think, yet they're very protective over their kids. Yet the highest rate of any statistical black fatigue child to have a weapon at that age, as Carmelo Anthony proven, is beyond belief. But anyways, look at how beautiful she is. Look at how loud she is. I mean, what's the point of all that beauty if all she picks in life are going to be criminality that got to leave?
All right, I can't understand this guy. He was on point. Oh, I think that's the end one. I think that's the end, guys. I think that's the end tonight. I think that is the end. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We did it again. We did it again. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like on the way out. Make sure you subscribe. And thank you guys so much for joining in to another Off the Book segment. Tonight is race relations failing in America? And after watching some of these videos and after talking about some of these the conversations that we had, how do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that race relations in America is failing in 2026? Do you guys think that it's going to get any better? Are there any solutions? What are the solutions to this? What can we do about it? I believe the only thing we can do is kind of point and maybe laugh. I think that pointing and laughing does a lot. I think that pointing and making the ridiculous, I think it does a little bit. I think shame is a great tactic to use. But yeah, I think that what's in my power as somebody that's not melanated, I wouldn't say that I'm part of the black culture. I can't save a culture that I'm not allowed to be a part of or that's not mine. All I can do is highlight what's happening and then, try to be as honest and truthful about it. And I think that right now, if you look at statistics and you look at what's going on right now, there's a problem. First part on solving a problem is admitting that there is one. So thank you guys so much again for joining me, and I will talk to you next time. Let's go.
Let's keep it off the books, not secret. It's off the books. Joey Jugs.